In this video, I'm going to show you how to install and set up the EWWW Image Optimizer so your websites load as fast as possible. Hi, I'm Bjorn from WPLearningLab, where I help businesses, creators, website owners, and developers make more money online. If that interests you, click subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss any future videos. Now let's get started. This is the plugin we're going to use, EWWW Image Optimizer. This is their website where you can buy the paid version, but through WordPress, you can get the free version. To do that, you just log into your dashboard, go to Add New Plugin under the Plugins menu, and search for EWWW. And this is it right up here. It's got 1 million active installs, lots of reviews, 5 out of 5 stars, which is a pretty amazing review record. And this is one we want. If you're installing this plugin on a live site, I recommend that you back up your site first just in case something goes wrong. It's always good to have a backup. I'm on a local site here, just a demo site, so I'm not too concerned. I'm just going to go ahead and install it and then click on Activate. And now we have it installed right here. This adds a menu item under Media, Bulk Optimize. We'll get to that in just a minute. First, we're going to check out the settings. And the settings are pretty slim, as in there's not that many, so it's a pretty simple to use plugin. This is the quick server that helps the EWWW Image Optimizer pick the right settings for your site or for your needs. I'm just going to call it the EW Image Optimizer from now on. It's way faster. If you don't want to do this survey, you can just click on this link here to skip it. I'm going to check these two boxes to speed up my site and save storage. Activate 5 times more optimization and priority support. That's probably the paid plan. Stick with the free mode for now. Yeah, that's the paid plan. Click on Next. We're going to go free. Here are recommended settings: remove metadata, lazy load. I'm going to select WebP conversion. Here's a little warning. If you're not using Easy I/O, which is part of the paid version of the EW plugin, then the storage requirements will be larger. I'm just going to click on Continue to have larger storage requirements. Here you set the maximum dimensions of pictures you upload. When you download a picture from a stock image site, if it's a really high quality one, it might be 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 pixels wide or high. And so this is just going to immediately resize it to a smaller size. That works better for web. Those giant images are for print. And this will immediately save space by doing this right off the bat. So I'm going to keep it, I'm actually going to put it to 2,000. Going to disable image backups. You can do it locally on your local server if you want to, or you can also do it on the cloud with the paid version. I'm just going to disable image backups. I'm not going to check the embedded help box. Then I'll click on Save Settings. New uploads will be optimized automatically. Excellent. Done. Here is the setup. So we have an easy mode and a ludicrous mode. If you're getting value from this video, let me know by smashing the like button. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I try to answer them the best I can. And let's get back to it. It might look like ludicrous mode is turned on. It's currently not. Click on this button and that will turn it on. And you get all these extra tabs up here. A lot of the options on these tabs will be for the paid version. So you won't be able to do a lot of the settings, but you'll still get a lot more out of it by using the ludicrous mode. But on easy mode, you get just the basic tab, which you also get on ludicrous mode. So as we go through this basic tab, just keep in mind, this is what you get for easy mode if you want to stick to easy mode on your own site. But we also get with ludicrous mode, local, which is just what happens locally on the server, advanced for various advanced settings, all of them very well described. I'm not going to read through every one. It'll bore you to death. You kind of get the gist of what's going on. Resizing, converting to different types. Overrides is currently a link to a help page. It allows you to override default behavior, but we can't actually get into the settings. That could be a paid version tab. Let's start with basic. So at the very top, we have the compress API key and Easy I/O and Swiss performance. These are all part of the paid plugin. I'm going to go through that in a separate video. This video is just focused for the free version. The very first option here, remove metadata. A lot of images have metadata associated with them. Metadata and EXIF data and comments and color profiles is just information that a camera adds to an image. You can also edit the metadata if you have the skills and the software to do that. And to see what I'm talking about, you can go to metadata2go.com and upload an image. This is one I just downloaded on Pexels just a moment ago, and it's going to show you all the metadata associated with this image. And there's quite a bit of it. Things like resolution, image size, CCM profile type, profile class, color space, primary platform, Hewlett-Packard for device maker, that must be the camera maker, and it's just a lot of information that you don't need as part of an image when you upload it to your site. And all this stuff takes up space. If you have hundreds of images, thousands of images on your site, and they all have this information, it takes up a lot of space. That's why removing this data is pretty useful. However, if you have a photography website or your client needs to retain this information for whatever reason, you should keep this unchecked so the metadata stays intact. You can't just add it back in after. So depending on what your needs are, check or uncheck this. Resize images, we set that earlier in that little survey we did. Add missing dimensions. This is when a website loads a picture. If it doesn't add the size, the height and the width to the HTML, an image takes longer to load. This is going to force the dimensions to be added to the HTML. That's pretty useful. Really no downside to turning that on. Lazy load loads images as you scroll down. So if you have images on the bottom of your page, those are not loaded if you have lazy load turned on. If you have 100 images on a page and lazy load is not turned on, all those images are going to load, slowing down your site like crazy. So lazy load is super helpful. There's also really no downside to having that turned on. Auto scaling is pretty handy. This is auto scaling images depending on device type and size of their view screen. So turn that on. External background images might sound like your image is not on your website, but they are. They're just linked to your site via CSS. So by adding the CSS class of those images from the CSS style sheet into here, allows them to load automatically or in the background with Image Optimizer, speeding up your site a little bit. If you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry about it. Just leave this empty. Exclusions excludes images from lazy load. So add them in here if you want to. I don't see why you'd exclude very many, but might be something you want to exclude from that. WebP conversion converts images to WebP, which is a Google format for images. I find the uptake of WebP hasn't been stellar, but still compresses images really well and saves file size. So I don't mind turning it on for my sites. The WebP delivery method is the preferred way WebP wants to deliver these images. This is notifying me that it could be missing in my mod headers. Please contact the administrator or the host, or you can cross your fingers and click this button right here. Here it says the image on the right, this one right here, when this delivery method is working, is going to say WebP in capitals in white text. So let's click on Insert Rules. Insertion successful, but self-test failed. It could be something to do with us being local for this site here. Let's click on Save Changes and refresh to see if that did it. It says it's still missing it, but it's also not asking us to insert it again. It could just be because I'm working locally for this website. And these last three options here are pretty advanced. Don't worry about those if you don't know what they mean. You can just go with the default and have a lot of great advantages with the image compression from the default. Under the local tab, this is only in ludicrous mode. The JPEG optimization level, Pixel Perfect is the only option we have. With the paid version, you get Pixel Perfect Plus, Premium, and Premium Plus. For PNG optimization, you get the Premium for free. Let's switch to that one. Why not? GIF optimization, we only have Pixel Perfect. PDF optimization level, we have grayed out options because they're part of the paid version. SVG optimization level, no compression with the free version. And those will be activated when we add the API key on the basic tab if you have the paid version. Backup originals disabled to save file space. Advanced, we can schedule optimization. So if you have a lot of images going onto your site, the example they give here is BuddyPress, where users can upload images and things like that. Then you can schedule the optimization to be done at a certain time of day when your site's not so busy, because optimization will take bandwidth on your server. If you're just running a blog or your business website or your client business websites, you don't have to worry about schedule optimization. Include media folders. Scan all images from the last two folders in the media library. What does that mean? The media library is sometimes all in one folder, but usually not. If we go under settings and go to media right down here, open that in a new tab, we have this checkbox here, organize my uploads into month year based folders. If you have that checked, you guessed it, your images are going to be organized in month year based folders. If you don't check that, it throws all your images into one folder. It's a bit of a mess, but it might be what you need. Like, a lot of people don't need this level of organization for their images. So what this is saying is it's going to scan the latest two folders. So it'll scan the previous 2 months of folders, I believe, or maybe the previous 2 years, because it goes the main image folder, and then year 2024, and then have a month-based folder for each one. So I'm not sure if it's going to go through the year-based folders or the month-based folders based on this description, but it's going to be the previous two folders. I don't think it matters. I'll just check that box anyway. Include originals, optimize the original version of images that have been scaled down by WordPress. That depends on your needs. Art websites, photography websites are going to want the images, the originals, that they maybe deliver automatically through an email. They're going to want those not compressed in most cases. And this is referring to just the original image you upload. You might think, well, that's the only thing that's happening. I upload the original, that's all that's there. It's not true. WordPress actually resizes images, we'll talk about that in this tab, to lots of different versions. So this is asking, do you want the original that you uploaded to be resized or optimized as well? Check that box if you do. Here you can add other folders to optimize. Sometimes when you have a developer building a website, they might not use the media library in WordPress, or if they're creating a theme for you manually, they might have an images folder that's not in the WP structure. You can add, well, this is the link here for the local site. This would have the URL for your website. Then you have to add the subfolders for the images. For example, if this was where WordPress is installed under public, maybe the images folder has images in it. For example, if you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry about it. You can exclude certain images in here if you want to. You can sharpen images. You can adjust the quality level of JPEGs. Use this to override the default WordPress quality level of 82. I just stick with the default. WebP quality level, default to 75. You can change it to anything you want between 50 and 100. AVIF quality level, can't change that because it's not part of the paid version, but the default is 60. You can change it between 45 and 80 if you have the paid version. And I think this checkbox down here is just for fun in reference to Tesla and Spaceballs, the movie where Tesla got it from originally. I'm going to check the box just for fun. Click on Save Changes because I'm going to change tabs to Advanced. That's where we were just now. Switch tabs to Resize. Here, we can mess around with the resize options inside of WordPress. When we were on the media settings through Settings and Media a moment ago, you see here image sizes, thumbnail size, medium size, large size. When you upload an image, these three size levels are created automatically by WordPress, and they're used in various places in your theme. Currently, we have the Astra theme installed, and these are the image sizes it requires. You might have more settings in here, or less, fewer, depending on which image you have, or which theme you have. And on this tab, we can overwrite those options. Right here, resize detection, this is pretty handy. This is for admins only, and when you're browsing your website, you can see which images need to be resized. There's a visual indicator showing an image that's been resized to fit a certain browser size or viewport, and then you can click a button to resize that image to the required size, which is pretty cool. Resize existing images, pretty self-explanatory. Resize other images, also self-explanatory, ones outside the media library. And here we can fine-tune what we want to do with the resized images. For thumbnails, there's disable optimization, not disable creation. For every other one, there's disable optimization and disable creation. For all of these, I just keep it as default. Unless you have a specific reason to not be optimizing, because it's not going to optimize the originals, because we didn't check that box. So it's going to optimize all the images WordPress creates. And I don't see a problem with that. So you might experience at some point that you don't want to ever optimize the medium size images that are created for some reason. Then you come in here and check that box. But for starters, I just keep this as it is, all unchecked. On the Convert tab, we can convert images from one type to another. I'm not sure why you'd want to do this necessarily, but it's an option that's out there. A lot of optimization plugins have it, so it must be in demand. But you can convert JPEGs to PNGs, you can convert PNGs to JPEGs, you can convert GIFs to PNGs just by checking these boxes, and it tells you about what happens. Why you do that, I'm not sure. I know one of the big differences between PNGs and JPEGs is that PNGs have transparency, and so maybe you don't want transparent backgrounds or transparent parts of images, and then you convert to JPEG, and here allows you to define a background color for the background of the JPEGs that are transparent. Anyway, I probably just leave this as it is for my use cases. And if you come across a situation where you need to change these, then you do. Otherwise, just keep them how they are. And that's all the settings in ludicrous mode. Basic mode we finished a long time ago. Easy mode, because it's just the basic tab. And if we go out to the front end, let's see if we can see this part here where it highlights images that need to be resized. Let's see if we can see what that looks like. All these appear to be good size for this viewport. Let's see if we can change viewports. Maybe some of these will be resized and it'll say you need to optimize these or resize these. No, it appears to be pretty solid. It might just be very small use case numbers where this actually happens. But if it does, it highlights those images for you on the front end. Then you can optimize them by clicking a button that's in the admin bar that detects the scaled images. And once we have all those settings set up, we can go into our library, the media library that is. Let's change to list view. And on the right here, we see image optimizer information. We have 3 sizes to compress for this image. The image itself is 168 kilobytes. Click on optimize now. It's going to optimize those 3. It went pretty quick. File reduction is 5.3%, which is not that much. However, this image was imported by the theme. So I'm willing to bet Astra already optimized these images. Let's try this instead. This is the same image that we used on the meta information detector. And let's see how the optimization goes for this one. It created 6 sizes when it was uploaded. Shows you what they are right here. These are WordPress created. These are not the original image. I guess full is probably the original. And it automatically compressed them as well. And we see the compression amount on the right here, 3.1, 5.2, 8.6. So this image was pretty well optimized already on Pexels. So just for fun, I found another image that I don't think is well optimized on Pexels. And that is this one right here. If we click on more info on this image, we see it's 7,000, over 7,000 by almost 5,000 pixels. So it's quite large. So we should get some pretty big savings when I upload this. I uploaded it right there. Let's go back to our media library. Click on this guy. So here we see the full. We saved 88.5%, 2.7 megabytes in file size. That's massive, massive savings. And I find quite often images from stock photo sites, some of them are optimized, some of them aren't. And this one is not. And it just might so happen this is the one that you picked. And it's slowing down your site like crazy because it's huge. And then these ones are less optimized, less reduced, which maybe doesn't make sense intuitively. But what happens is first the plugin reduces the file size of the main one, the original that you upload, and then it'll reduce the file size further as it shrinks them and optimizes them for smaller sizes. So this one's an 88.5% reduction, but this one's only 5.3. This is 5.3% below after the 88.5% reduction. I hope that makes sense. Either way, major reduction in file size, which means major improvement in load speed. And the last thing I want to show you is bulk optimize. This is where you can click on scan for unoptimized images, and it shows 144 ready to be optimized. These are images that are in the media library and the resizings that WordPress has done. And all you have to do to optimize them is click on this button right here. On the right-hand side here, we can choose to re-optimize images we already optimized. If you want to, you can do WebP only, which means you skip compression and only attempt a WebP conversion. And you can pause between images if you want to. This will help if your site gets a lot of traffic and you might be doing this in the middle of the day. Put this up to 30 seconds between images. So every 30 seconds, it'll do an image. It might take a long time to get through them all, but at least it's not going to affect your site traffic that much. I'm going to click on optimize 144 images. We'll see how fast it goes. It's pretty quick. And here it has a list of all the images we just optimized and the savings that we get. And that's all 144 right there. 0.1 second, 0.3 seconds for each one Goes pretty quick. And up here it says, want 5 times more, meaning optimization and compression. Get a free trial of the paid version. I find the free version goes a long way. But if you want to go to the paid version, I made a video for that as well. I'll click to that, or I'll link to that in the card up above and the description down below. But if we go to our library, we can see all the optimization information on the right-hand side. And Image Optimizer, and any image optimizer for that matter, is going to help your site load faster. So you might as well get on the train, get an image optimizer, and optimize your images. If you found this video useful, don't forget to click subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss any future videos. Then check out this video up here, which is for the paid version of the EWWW Image Optimizer, so you can see if that would help your business. And this video down here is what YouTube thinks you should watch next. I'm Bjorn from WP Learning Lab. Until next time, keep crushing it, and I will see you in the next video.